So, in the second match day of the EFL League One season, Reading have succumbed to a second defeat as well, leaving us on 0 points after 2 games. Hello guys, and welcome back to a brand new video here on the channel. I'm James, and today we're going to go ahead and sit down and talk to you guys about Reading's 1-0 defeat away to Port Vale. Now, in this game, looking before it, and you look at previous results, it was so obvious that Reading were going to get beat today. Going into it, Port Vale were coming off a 7-0 loss away at Barnsley, whereas Reading were coming, obviously they played in midweek as well, but that's the one we're focused on. And Reading played and beat Millwall 4-0 away from home. So what does Ruben Selles decide to do? Ruben Selles decides to make 8 changes from the team that won against Millwall. And he went with a team that consisted of David Button in goal for his debut, Nesta Guinness-Walker, Tom Holmes, Tom McIntyre and Andy Yiadom across the back 4, Charlie Savage and Sam Hutchinson in the midfield with Harvey Nibbs and Femi Aziz as the attacking players, and Kelvin Eheribotoman started up front alongside Andy Carroll. Now, for the game itself, Reading were defeated and probably had the better of the two halves in the first half. Listen, Reading had a penalty and it was unfortunately saved. Andy Carroll's penalty saved. It made me clutching at straws. I did think the keeper was a little bit off his line, but again, probably just me clutching at straws there. Reading though did have more of the impressive play in that first half. And Nesta Guinness-Walker linking up well. Kelvin Eheribotoman nearly scoring as well. Charlie Savage having a shot as well from a free kick. And look, Reading did have the better of the opportunities. It was said that the keepers weren't really tested in that first half. But for me, I spoke to Adam, who was at the game today as well, the guy who I used to do Reading FC away days with, and he said that Reading were the better of the two sides and we were playing quite well. Reading were pushing for the goal, but unfortunately were unable to do it. Aziz again set up a Nesta Guinness-Walker cross. Eheribotoman nearly there, but again, the main real focus of this was that Reading failed to get much on target in this game. And that was kind of the issue throughout this one, is that Reading really found it difficult to get a shot on target. But the second half is where it really did fall apart, and Port Vale began to dominate the game. Now, when you go ahead and look at that, for me, no disrespect as well to Port Vale, but it shouldn't be happening. It should be something where Reading should be beating Port Vale, in my opinion. It's not me trying to disrespect Port Vale, and it's not me trying to say Reading are this massive club. But when you look at the two teams, Reading should be beating them every day of the week. But a team that has conceded over 130 goals over the last 2 seasons have decided to keep the same back 4 that they've got now. Tom Holmes and Tom McIntyre and Andy Yiadom should not be in this squad. The 2 centre-backs, if I was Tyler Bindon, Nelson Abbey and Harley Dean, I would be fuming that I was not playing today. I don't understand how they've both come back in. I've seen a few people saying, look, maybe it was the time for the senior players to step up and show, look, that these players are pressuring you and now this is your chance to step up. But at the same time, I can't see how you make them changes. It's diabolical, really, that Tom Mack and Tom Holmes played today because they did not deserve it. If I was Tyler Bindon and Nelson Abbey, I'd be fuming. I don't understand how Femi Aziz got a start as well. I think Mamadi Kamara should be the one starting there. But when you look at the goal for Port Vale, it is absolutely god-awful defending by Reading. Absolute Sunday League level by Reading. And it's embarrassing. David Button, listen, it took a few deflections and stuff and went over his head in the end. He did try and get to it, but went top corner, took a few deflections, went into the back of the net. And at the end of the day, though, it shouldn't have happened. It shouldn't have happened in the first place. Reading were god-awful. And from a lot of people, they've said that they saw it coming. Now, when you look at the second half as well, Port Vale were the better of the 2 teams, and they could have even got a second as well. When you look at the report that Reading have put out, obviously they're not going to be there slating the team or nothing like that. They said that Port Vale could have scored late on. Massey received the ball in the penalty area, couldn't control his effort as it flew over the bar. Garritti also went close to doubling the home side's lead with a powerful volley just missing the target. It was Garritti, I do believe, who scored the goal as well. Ben Garritti, who scored the goal for Port Vale and saw them win the game by a 1-0. Now for me, we've got to move on now. We've got to go to Cheltenham on Tuesday. And if I see Andy Carroll, if I see Sam Hutchinson, Tom Holmes, Tom McIntyre, Andy Yeardom in that starting 11, I'm not going to be happy because them players don't deserve to play. I saw a lot of complaints today about Andy Carroll as well, about how he can't deal with the pressing system and how he looks so great against Millwall with this press. And then all of a sudden Carroll comes back in and we're unable to do this press. I really truly do believe that Ruben Selles got it wrong today. I really truly do. I feel it should have been a game that Reading should be winning, and we've come away with a 1-0 defeat. I predicted Port Vale to go down this season, and they've beaten Reading. So what does that tell you about Reading's future for this season? Look, we knew it was going to take time, but I did believe truly that it would be a game today where we would be able to come out with something, especially after the confidence that we got from the game on on Tuesday. But look, Port Vale were the best of the two sides by all accounts. Reading were the better of the first half, probably had more chances in the first, and the second half was not good. Lewis Wing did hit the bar late on as he came on as a substitution. Reading did make their 5 subs once again, as we saw Matty Carson, we saw Lewis Wing, Harley Dean, Mamadi Kamara and Kalen Vickers all come on. But it wasn't enough and Reading succumbed to the defeat and lost to Port Vale by a 1-0. We've got to move on to Tuesday now, got to move on to Cheltenham. I want to see the youth come in and just see if it can be replicated from what they did on Tuesday. Because if it is, then we know that there's certain players that need to leave. Tom Holmes and Tom Mack should not start. I'll be fuming if I see them both starting on Tuesday. That's going to be it for this video though, guys. I hope you've all enjoyed it. Apologies for being a bit ranty, but not a good result. Thank you for watching, guys. My name's been James, and congratulations to Port Vale. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.